Penguin Random House Audio presents Fever, a novel by Bernice L. McFadden, writing as Geneva Holiday. Narrated by Indigo Brown, Janina Edwards, Kevin R. Free, and Emana Rachelle. For my sister friends, the women with whom I laughed the most. Everybody's got the fever. Fever isn't such a new thing. Fever started long ago. Fever, music and lyrics by Peggy Lee. You see, what had happened was Geneva. Pfizer and other pharmaceutical companies that have jumped headfirst into the sexual stimulant market are in for some bad news. It seems that there is a new, natural sexual stimulant on the marketplace called Cupid. It's cheap, it's organic, it doesn't require a prescription, and it can be purchased from your neighborhood incense dealer. The makers of Cupid, Roscoe and Jojo Barker of Cambria Heights, Queens, by way of Kingston, Jamaica, say there are no side effects associated with the stimulant, but in order for it to be 100% effective, large quantities of water need to be consumed when taking it. This story and more tonight on the 6 o'clock news. I gave news correspondent Sade Baderinois one last look before I pressed the off button on the television remote. I would try to remember to watch the news that evening. Not that I had a man to use that Cupid stuff on, but I would one day. Sooner than later, I hoped. And it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra ammunition in the bedroom when I finally met that special someone. I settled myself flat on my back again. The lights were off and the candles lit, and I even had a little oil burning in a simmering pot on the windowsill. Clean sheets, a little Gina Tate dabbed behind each ear, and Barry White's greatest hits playing in the background. Eric was out somewhere, and my baby girl Charlie was napping in the other room. I'd been taking care of myself for some time now. I mean, after I got pregnant from my ex-husband, and that bastard had the nerve to demand that I get an abortion, I vowed that that would be the last time that man got any more of my good lovin'. And to suck it to him good, I had that baby. Not that that low-life son of a super bitch acknowledges her. When I announced I was keeping the baby, he told me that he wasn't going to be involved. He said, "Geneva, if you have this baby, you're having it and raising it on your own." I just looked at him and said, "How's that different from the first time around? I was married to your sorry ass when Eric came along, and I raised him on my own." Well, she's here now, and I gotta tell you, she drives me crazy, but I can't imagine life without her. She is the second best decision I ever made. Eric Jr. was the first. Since Charlie's been born, I've been practically sexless. Oh, there's been a little stink finger here and there, a little caressing of the breast, some tongue kissing, but none of the toe-curling booty calls I was used to getting from my ex-husband. So I had to take matters into my own hands, literally. And plus, Crystal and I made a celibacy pact. No more this senseless sleeping around. We would save ourselves for Mr. Right and stop giving ourselves over to Mr. Right now. I learned about 10 different ways to pleasure myself, and that alone has kept me from stripping naked and running through the streets like an insane person. "Right, Mandingo?" I whispered as I turned. Mandingo was waiting patiently beside me, well-oiled. He glistened beneath the candlelight. "Okay, baby, I'm almost ready," I whispered as I stretched my body alongside Mandingo's and slowly began to caress my nipples. Oh, I moaned, then glanced over at Mandingo and said, "You should be doing this for me, you know." I chuckled as I moved my hand up to the soft mound of flesh beneath my chin. There I allowed my fingers to feather stroke my skin. That really turned me on. I groaned, already feeling moist between my legs. "I'm gonna make it nice and wet for you, sweetie," I told Mandingo, even though I was thinking about the cedar-colored cutie who frequents the diner where I waitress. He always sits at my station, always orders a decaf, 2 slices of whole wheat toast, followed by a glass of orange juice. He reads the New York Times while he's eating, and when he's done, he leaves me a $5 tip, even though his meal costs only $3.50. I like to pretend that he comes there just to see me, even though he doesn't say much more than "good morning" and "thank you" to me. But hey, it's nice to dream, right? Now when I see him coming, I imagine that he's Mos Def and I'm Alicia Keys, and I start humming the melody to "You Don't Know My Name" as I reach for the decaf coffee pot. And he don't know my name because we don't wear name tags on our uniforms. Anyway, it's just a fantasy. Besides, he don't look too much older than my own son. I'd probably remind him of his own mother. Slowly, I moved my hand from my breast and pushed it down to my belly and the triangle of black hair below. My clitoris was already pointed and erect, so when my pinky finger accidentally brushed against it, my body shuddered and my toes curled. Shit, I squeezed out between clenched teeth. "Okay, Mandingo, I'm more than ready for you, baby." Reaching over, I plucked the little red and white striped plastic penis from the pillow, hit the on switch, and set it to high. Mandingo pulsated into action, vibrating so hard he almost slipped from between my sweaty fingers. "Aren't we the eager one?" I laughed before I closed my eyes and guided his pointy head to my pleasure place. Mandingo bucked as I eased him in and out, in and out, in and... "What's going on, Manny?" I asked, my eyes flying open and my head jerking up off the pillow. Mandingo's vibrations were becoming spastic. "Come on now," I urged, and rolled the tip of his head across my clitoris. The joy was minimal. Mandingo was losing power. "No, no!" I screamed and brought Mandingo to eye level. What? It can't be your batteries. I just changed them." I slapped Mandingo upside his narrow head a few times, but all he did was sputter weakly. I'm sorry, I cried. "Just please, don't do this to me. Not now." Mandingo coughed, buzzed once, and then died. "No!"
Crystal. I thought, my life must really be bad because I was standing in a liquor store on a Saturday afternoon and it wasn't even 2 o'clock yet. But I needed some Merlot. I had to have some Merlot. Some Merlot, Jill Scott, and a hot bath. "Yes, how can I help you?" The Asian storekeeper stared out at me from behind 2 sets of glass, the one shielding him and the bifocals that made his eyes look as large as serving platters. I said, and pressed my finger against my lip. "What type of Merlot do you have?" He smirked at me. "What kind you like, lady?" he yelled. "I got Australian, California, I cut him off. "You know, I think I'd rather have a Shiraz. You have Shiraz, right?" He shot me a look that said, "What the hell you know about Shiraz?" His eyebrows climbed to his receding hairline. "Or, maybe a Petite Syrah?" Now I was just showing off. I knew my wines. He was so used to black people coming into his store and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?